Hey all, and welcome back to X Token Channel. Your host Superman in house. Hey, we're going to have a quick look at the Zen protocol, and of course, it launched on Polygon. The Zen NFTs, so the Zen NFTs launched on Polygon. However, unfortunately, unlike Ethereum and BSC chain, the launch unfortunately failed, and Polygon network threw a fit. So we're going to have a look at all those details. You can see the MZen price here, the Matic price here for Zen has dropped off. So it had a nice little rally on a 15-minute chart all the way up there. Let's go to the daily, have a quick look at this. And you can see on the Zen price chart there, had a nice little rally on the daily. Pretty nice gains, actually, all the way up to about, what's that? Pretty decent rally up there from 5556 to 10,000. So almost a 2x there. So pretty nice little gains over 25 days. However, big sell-off today. All the way down to 7,473. And of course, that's a pretty big deal there. So we're looking at here, it's down 10%. Not too bad, given the failure of the XENFT launch. Now, it is going to be relaunched. So at 6 p.m. PST time there. So don't worry if you're participating in that. It's going to be relaunched, and there's some corrections are going to be made. So it's going to be cool. Let's see how that goes. So best of luck to the Jack and the Zen team there. So that is kind of where the price is here. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. There's a bit of a bounce back, probably on the news that it's going to be relaunched over the last little wee while. So let's have a look at that. So anyway, let's have a look at Zen Turbo. We're here on Ethereum. So we're going to jump back to that. We'll come back to the Ethereum chart there. Actually, I'll just cover the not the NFTs there for that. We're just going to have a quick look at the updates from Jack. So here is the updates from Jack. So 1 hour ago, first of all, Zenzu gave the updated Zen rarity chart for Polygon V2. We decided to go open up number of VMUs from 90 to 128, so it's more in line with the gas limit on Polygon network. Also increased the power of the collector. So obviously, people were going to go and mint their NFTs for these. And you can see the M scores here, the rarity scores here, increased by 500 if the token ID is a prime number, etc. So there was a rarity score there. You can pause the video and look at that. In any case, let's go back to Jack's update. We'll go back to Jack's updates here. And 1 hour ago, we're having issues with the Polygon network for Zen NFT. So that was an hour ago. And you can see that was about back up here. There was a bit of a sell-off before that issue. And for Zen NFT launch, if the time at 0 and you can't mint, that's why watch Twitter for announcements. So that was an increase there, 7,800 views on that. Then, of course, a string of updates here. This is the contract. 3A5 was the end, so we're going to have a look at that. ZenFT deployment successful. So it was successfully launched, but now the web app part was key. And, of course, okay, this was a minor disaster. There was a disaster. A lot of transactions failed due to Polygon freaking out, and we pushed a rote branch of the code that allowed X unicorns being minted for only 10 million Zen. So obviously that was an issue. If we look back down here again, it was going to be 10 billion, right? 10 billion is the amount for X unicorn. So a bit of an issue there. So that was the contract, and that was the issue that they had. We are relaunching in about 10 minutes. Sorry, guys, he says there's 10 minutes there. And of course, I don't think that is the case PST time. So look at PST time at the moment. PST time now. Pull that up. It is 6:40 p.m. So it looks like that may have been relaunched. We're going to try and check that out. And that is the Gwei. So the Gwei got really high, 2,149 on Polygon. So pretty crazy. And the boom fees must be absolutely through the roof with the Zen launch. Pretty crazy there, but a lot of it failed. So let's get on to here. 1 hour ago, we are doing ZenFT relaunch on Polygon. A lot of transactions failed, and our Zen count was set wrong. So we get to try again. I will announce as soon as we're live. Then, of course, 1 hour ago, we will relaunch at 6 p.m. PST time. Countdown will be up shortly, and that seems to have been the case because it's now 6:40 PST time, Pacific time there. So that's pretty interesting. Now, if we go to the actual Zen website, this is zen.network, we can see that you can mint here with that and set up your maximum V count, which I think is 128 now, and mint your burn. Now, obviously, I've got no Zen in the account there, and you have to approve the Zen before you mint it as well. There's 2 transactions on the Polygon. So that is what the minting, and that was the issue there. So what else have we got going on here? 1 hour ago, more than half of all ZenFT transactions failed on Polygon, and you can see just some of the transactions there. If we go to the actual Zen contract for this, this is one here. Remember, 63A5 is the Zen NFT, a mint contract there for Polygon. We can see all the transactions that had issues an hour 7 minutes ago. So that's pretty much what happened there. Let's have a look here. So on the actual gas burner, you see the Gwei still really high, 572, pretty crazy, putting the pressure on the old Polygon. It was over 2,000 as you saw on Jack's update. We can see that the Zen NFT contract is #1 gas burner in the last 60 minutes, 7.7% there, 2,236 Matic burn. Let's have a look in the last 5 minutes, see what that's holding up there. Number 5 there, so it's definitely fallen off the bottom, fallen off the top there. So that is the case. And let's have a quick look at the rest of the updates. More than half of them failed. We've got 1 hour ago, Zenians have a lot of firepower, crashed Polygon. Obviously, we showed that link there. 57 minutes ago, 180 ZNFTs were minted, but more than 450 transactions have failed. That was 57 minutes ago. So that is pretty much the last update there we've had on Twitter. So you need to stay tuned with Jack Levin, Mr. Jack Levin on Twitter to keep up with all the rest of the details there. 180 or so not happy Zenikins. Definitely fall out when things don't quite launch correct. You can see some of the comments here at the moment. The BSC and Ethereum work pretty well. Polygon had issues. So sometimes that happens. That's some of the risks that you have when you launch these. So that's pretty much it. The Polygon price at the moment, $1.23. And of course, the circulating supply at 9 billion Matic. And of course, you can see the contribution to the burn today from and over the last 60 minutes in particular from the Zen launch that failed was pretty big. So was it 350 Matic, $130. So there we are, 60 minutes. So that's definitely eased off, hasn't it, since they launched. And the Gwei's starting to come down a little bit there. What else can we say about this? So that is pretty much what happened with the mint there, and does seem to be back on. So I'd keep tabs on to Jack because they looks like they relaunched that there again. It's a little ambiguous on the fact that we're past 6 o'clock PM and the PST time. So keep track on that. It does appear that you can now mint though and approve, so you can give that a test try. If you'd like so doing. Remember, nothing on this channel is investment advice. That's pretty much it. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. But we're going to go into Ethereum. Let's have a look at Ethereum and see where that's at. So we're going to jump to Ethereum, switch around, and have a quick look at the Zen NFTs or the Zen portfolio. We're going to go to here. So currently 8,945,000 global rank. And of course, not many people minting at the moment. So 16,167 total mint NFTs. So that's quite a lot actually on the NFT side. The EAA is down to 1.1%, so it's just about gone once this reaches 10 million on the global rank of minters. And of course, the AMP bonus, these are the two bonuses that you get when you mint, is going down by 1 per day. But the max term is up to 446 days, so you can actually mint out a long period of time. And most people are minting out at least 5 or 6 months these days, I think, because of the break even. Let's jump over to the Zen dashboard and have a look at that Zen Turbo dashboard. Let's have a look at the Zen NFTs, and we can see that we've got 60,167 NFTs on Ethereum at the moment. So that's going pretty terrific, to be honest. And let's pull up the old NFT list and have a look at all those. So we're going to go to zensquad.com, and have a look on the ETH chain. We can see we've got 46 unicorns now, X unicorns, and that cost a 10 billion Zen each to mint those. So 460 billion Zen is being used to mint those. Pretty crazy at different prices between probably 56,000 down to what, 11,000 now, which is based around the price, $12,000 now. So a real big range in there. Obviously, the ones that paid the most money got the higher rank at the beginning. I'm sure that would be of importance later. Exotics 7 out of 900, legendary 20 out of 2,000. Epics 71 out of 3,000, and rares, which you have to burn $500 million, 500 million, 241 out of 4,000. So that's obviously a very easy choice there, and you get pretty in profit as well because your mint's greater than your burn, so that makes a lot of sense there. 385 out of 10,000 Apex NFTs mint so far, and of course that's almost 4%. So getting there, and these X unicorns, as I say, this will disappear as a function of inflation. As inflation grows, and of course we all know that's going to grow pretty radically. Limited there based on time, 365 days. that is at 238. Obviously, that there's probably the only thing that's a flaw in the product design is this one. And then collectors here, 15,541. This is where you actually mint with an NFT rather than mint with the old classic batch minting or individual wallet minting that you do on the official site or on one of the bench mint sites. So Ruby there is the short term, and is Xturian there is the long term, 128 wallets, that sort of thing or more. And of course, people get that one there. So that's you can see these are the two popular ones, the short term and the long term. But it's doing pretty well, actually, to be honest. All right, so that's pretty nice. The total burn, of course, up almost 800 billion Zen has been burnt with all these different products on the burn side. These ones here, very, very cool results. All right, let's have a quick look at the mint and see where the mint's at the moment. Obviously, I went through all the numbers here, down to 1.1% on the EA bonus, almost gone. That's pretty cool. We haven't got many wallets minted, though. In the last 24 hours, 21,000. This has definitely dropped off with the higher gas prices. And you can see at 20 Gwei, you'd have to mint at least for 4 months to break even. So that's what I mean by people wouldn't mint at least for 5 or 6 months. And of course, there's a reason for that. Now, the offset to that, of course, is the roadmap of Zen with all the products launching, XENFTs, Phoenix, next, of course, with the competitive burning and liquidity protocols, all sorts of stuff coming down the roadmap. That may end up being price pumps, parabolic price pumps in the market. So we'll be looking out for that. All right, so let's go to the dashboard and see what the overall inflation is at the moment. So just under 6.3. Let's say 6.25 trillion Zen in liquid supply. We've got 555 billion, just over half a trillion in stakes. So yeah, just about 6.25 trillion is in liquid supply. So it's actually slowed down. That has definitely slowed down, but it's growing. It's growing. Now let's go down to the Zen supply. You can see the Zen supply here, pretty low days. They had a couple of really low days adding to supply, 35 billion. We increased a bit today, 90 and 75. But the burns have been pretty good, 10 billion and 12 billion. And stakes being pretty positive too, 10 and 13 billion, 14 billion there. So not too bad on that. Now here's our overall summary. We've got the penalties at 2.27. These people that forget to mint, and so that doesn't even come into existence. 2.27, that's pretty decent. It's been holding there in that range for a while. Burns is now at 10.11%. It's pretty much holding over 10% there. And stakes at 7.14. That's, slightly lower, but that's still holding. So no particularly mega trend in terms of total percentage, but definitely 80.48 has pretty much been holding lately. Now, obviously, as we get the roadmap rolling out, like the next contract and Phoenix and stuff like that's going to start burning some of this blue stuff here. And that's when you might see some parabolics come out as well with the news and so forth. So the trends are going pretty good. Staking's coming back online. And of course, everything else, the red is the burns, the green is the penalties. So that's all trend is your friend. Now going down to the overall minting in the future. So we're looking at the trends now. Now let's look into the future. We've got 34 trillion Zen to be minted in the future. Obviously, the roadmap of all the ecosystem growth on top of Zen needs to help us do supply sinks for this, no matter what it will be, whether it's burning, staking, or things like that. So currently 11.72% of the total 545 trillion is currently being mined. And of course, this amount less whatever gets supply sinks, as I said, will end up adding to this circulating supply at the top here, the 6.625 trillion. So the more successful it is in supply sinks, and then the more successful the price will be for Zen. And that will differentiate it from SHIB, for example, which as the supply increases, the price has pretty much gone down. That's pretty much it. So you can see the profile of these Zen mints coming up here. And of course, you can see between by March through to September, we get a lot of low days, but we do have some skyscrapers in there lifting the average. But the orange line there gives us the number, and it does show that by the time we get to September, the end of September, we're up at about 14.5 trillion that will be claimed. And obviously, that some of that will get eaten up by the roadmap, which will have all these burning projects like Next and Phoenix and others. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go. Q2, of course, looks like we'll probably have a good chance of I think Next coming out, if I remember rightly. So you can check there in the chat. I always check the official sites for the actual launch times, but that's kind of the roadmaps, and Phoenix as well coming out. So it's going to be fun to see that play out and see what that does to the price chart. That's pretty much the main game. All right, let's have a quick look at the costs on here. We've got the costs over here. We've got all these zeros and then 4459. That is the cost of Zen minting. So how many zeros there? 3, 6 zeros. So you might reasonably expect the Zen price to keep moving down towards this price. And at the moment, if we go to Zen, let's have a quick look at the Zen on ETH chain. We've got Zen here. We've got Zen is on the ETH chain now rather than on the Polygon. We can see that the price has definitely dropped. A big drop 3 days ago, and now it's dropped from 1370 down to 1172 with 5 zeros in front of it. And you can see that here on the summary. $473,000 of liquidity still. It was up at like 650, obviously the higher price, the higher liquidity, but that is kind of where it is at the moment. So cool. Remember, a lot of the supply is still held by on centralized exchanges. Last time I checked, it was about 35%, but you can check on the blockchain for that. And that's where that is. So that is a summary of that chain. Obviously, BSC chain has been doing fairly well with the NFTs, and that's kind of a highlight there. And I think that's probably all I was going to say about that at the moment. So really, big inflation coming out, and really it's the roadmap in the year ahead that's going to burn and do supply sinks for the Zen, and that's where you're going to get your price opportunities and your price uplift. So that's what you got to look at. That's the magic source in this. Then, of course, X1 chain further down. And of course, getting credits for that. If you do burn, you get credits for that on the different chains. So that's something else you have to think about. So those are the two fundamentals: the roadmap, eating up the inflation, and of course the new products opportunities. But you're transferring into a different ecosystem slightly, to different dApps, and then of course the X1 chain as well. So that's kind of the three things you should be taking account as you're moving forward. Typically, minting longer is better because obviously 4-month break even. That's you're trying to time the big launches of the new products and the burning results from that. So that's where you potentially might get the upside. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Keep tabs of Jack Levin. We might do a little refresh here just to see whether Jack's done any further updates on the Polygon. Nothing there yet, so definitely keep tabs on that if you are looking at it. All right, hope you enjoyed that quick video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell for more great topics as we cover crypto. Crypto is a fun place. We like to see the new gamification, and Jack Levin is doing a different path to creating value. And like I say, I see it more as a medium exchange, a bit more like SHIB and Dodge, but I think it may be supercharged in the future. I'm not too worried about the big inflation coming out the stage, but it will all be subject to the roadmap and X1 chain further down the line. And that's the magic there. That's what we're looking at. Will that play out? That's going to be fun to see. All right, take care, everybody. Bye for now.